Have you, okay, maybe not you, your friend, your family member, have you ever been in a situation where you need emergency transportation from your home or a place because of a medical emergency? Well, life is difficult. Sometimes it surprises you. People fall sick, people get into accidents. You might break a leg or get burnt or something, and you might need to be transported. For some people, they might want to call a taxi or get into a friend's car or use their own car. Well, in this particular moment or in that type of scenario, what you need is to call the National Ambulance Service, because your friend's car might not be able to provide you with oxygen, might not be able to give you first aid. A taxi might also not be able to do the same thing. But the National Ambulance Service will be able to provide you with pre-hospital care before you get to the hospital. In today's edition of the Auto Showroom, we'll be telling you everything you need to know about the National Ambulance Service, the work they do, and even the very ambulance that you see on your streets. And also what you as a passenger or pedestrian or a driver need to know to ensure that you support the National Ambulance Service in the work they do. Well, before we get into the conversation, let's bring you our trivia for the day. And the question we are asking is, in what year was the National Ambulance Service formed? We'll bring you the answer later on in the show. We're going to go for a quick break though. When we return, we'll be talking to personnel from the National Ambulance Service.
Hello, good morning.
Hi.
My name is Milian Boatin and my colleague Emmanuel Adokwe from the National Ambulance Service. We are here to take care of you. Are you okay? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Don't worry, we are here to take care of you. Okay.
So it appears that a miracle, has happened. As you can see, I'm no longer on the stretcher. I'm fine. There was nothing happening to me, just trying to more or less start a conversation about the Ghana Ambulance Service. And we're currently within the premises here at Kotobabi in the Greater Accra region to talk everything about the National Ambulance Service. And I have here with me Principal Advanced Emergency Medical Technician, Mr. Daniel Asari. I believe I got that right. Yeah. Nice, super. So, I mean, for a lot of people, the sound of an ambulance is a scary one. You're in traffic, you hear the siren, wing, and you're wondering, should I, park to the side or what? What can you tell us about the National Ambulance Service? Your mandate, what you do, and the likes.
Okay, basically, the National Ambulance Service is an agency under the Ministry of Health, and the Service Act has been passed by Parliament. Okay. That's Act 1041/2020. So our core mandate is to provide pre-hospital emergency care to the.
Provide what?
Pre-hospital emergency care.
What does that mean?
That is out of hospital emergencies. Emergencies that are not inside the hospital, but outside the jurisdictions of the hospital. Okay. And take critical care of the patient, and we transport them to hospital for further management. So that's basically what we do.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, what kind of cases are we looking at here? Is it just, if I have a headache, can I call the National Ambulance Service, or what? I need to have a really critical, issue before I can call you guys.
Yeah, with the National Ambulance Service, it's an emergency service. Okay. So, we respond to both medical and trauma emergencies.
Okay.
So, if somebody even have, let's say, an asthma attack,
okay,
the patient can call an ambulance, and we have an emergency line, the 112, that you call through.
It's not 911.
It's 112.
112.
Yes. Okay. So that is our emergency line. Okay. So the call will be routed through our dispatch center, where we have trained emergency medical technicians who have been trained on dispatch. They will receive your call and ask you certain salient questions, because we have phases of dispatch. One will be the time the phase one, they will receive the call, they interrogate the caller, where you are calling from, your name, and know where exactly you are so that they can dispatch the ambulance.
We're going to come to the calls, but okay, let's talk about the National Ambulance Service as an organization. What does the structure of the National Ambulance Service look like?
Okay. So what I would say is the National Ambulance Service actually was formed in 2004. That's where the actual operation of the service farm. It was based on the May 9th stadium disaster at Accra Sports Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the recommendations of the commission set up by the government at that time to have an emergency service where if we have mass gathering, they will be there to attend to emergency. But during the stadium disaster, a lot of people were sent to the hospital unconscious and they were put in the morgue once they were not dead because proper triaging was not done to sort out the priority of the patient and treat them, those who need immediate treatment and those who have to send to us. But most people were just carried away to the hospital whilst they can be treated even on scene.
Wow.
Wow. So when proper triaging is done, you know those who need immediate attention and those that have to send to the hospital.
So now I understand the genesis of the national, but now currently in Ghana, where are you? Are you all across the country? What's the structure like?
So
your staff strength?
Yeah, so currently the service started with about 66 personnel.
Okay.
But currently we can boast of about 3,000 personnel all over the country.
Every region?
Yes, and we cover every municipal district or metropolitan in Ghana.
Okay.
We started with about 7 pilot stations. But currently we have 298.
298?
Ambulances across the country.
Okay.
But the government procured about 307 ambulances which were launched at the Independence Square to augment the fleet.
January 2020.
Yeah, January 2020. So we have these stations and we have a pool of ambulances. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. Now, what about, I mean, the personnel? I mean, what kind of training do they have? I mean, what's the structure like? Okay, I see you have your hat with about 2 pins. I'm wondering.
Okay, so when you come to the EMS, that's the emergency medical service, we have levels of training. Okay. We have the phase one, that's we've been trained as emergency medical responders. That's we train people in the communities that when there's an emergency, they will attend to those emergencies. Those ones are the basic training. But when you come to the National Ambulance Service, we have the EMT basic. Okay. That is the one level. EMT then you have the advanced EMT. Then you have the paramedic, which is the highest level of the EMS profession. Okay. So currently, the National Ambulance Service have from the EMT basic up to the paramedics level. So currently, we have an emergency training school. That's the paramedic and emergency care in Kinkensu. That's the Ashanti region where we trained the staff that is being recruited by the ambulance. We give them training, comprehensive training. So for the basic level, you undergo about 1 year training at the hospital training school and the ambulance attachment. Then which is the minimum qualification is SSC or NVTI.
So we've heard about what people who have emergencies should do.
Yeah.
But what about the, general public, the users of the road, the private and public drivers and the likes? What should be their attitude to the National Ambulance Service when they see the ambulance vehicle on the roads? Okay. And also, can you walk me through some of the challenges you face in your line of work?
Okay, so we in the ambulance service, it will have been in our best interest, like when we are responding to an emergency, we have a road that is very clear so that we'll be able to get to the scene.
There's traffic everywhere.
Yeah, but there's traffic in Accra everywhere. So as we en route to the incident scene, like maybe attending to a road traffic accident around the motorway or on the N1, wherever you use, there's traffic. So sometimes the traffic becomes very intense that we find even difficult to even maneuver. Yeah, because some of the road users have made up their mind that they will not give us way.
Really?
Because we are going to pick somebody, they are also going to do their businesses. Others even follow us as we are going. Others too want to even run faster than us as we are going because they want to see whether their vehicle can match that of the
Are you serious?
ambulance. So it's something that is really affecting our response time. Okay. Because if we are not able to get to the scene early, it will delay.
Someone could come and could lose their life.
Definitely. Yeah. So we are making a passionate appeal to the Ghana Police Service, especially the MTTD, that once sometimes we come and we get to the intersection and they are there, I know they are already doing, but they should intensify by stopping other vehicles so that the ambulance can pave when we get to our destination faster. And also to the GPRTU and ProToa and other private road transport organizations that we are appealing to their members that when they see the ambulance coming, they should also talk to their members, then they can pave way so that we can get to the incident scene very well, so that we can take care of our casualties.
So this is your appeal to the other regulated bodies. What about the individuals themselves? The individuals, those who are watching, what's your appeal to them?
Yeah, I also want to appeal to Ghanaians that when you see the siren blaring, we shouldn't have the mindset that there's nobody in the ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes when we get a call, because of sometimes the nature and also the traffic situation, we need to use the siren to pave with, and we get to the scene. Sometimes we even attend domestic cases. Yeah, sometimes we use the siren to help us to even the people to even know that the ambulance, then they can locate the place, because sometimes the location they give us, we find it difficult to even get to that place. So the public should support us, and I'm using this medium for City TV to help us to educate other people so that we can get to our destination faster. And in ambulance service, we are also doing training for other GPRT and other transport organizations so that we can educate them at their lorry stations and to know the importance of the ambulance service. Because our motto is timely care saves life.
Okay. Now I want us to walk to the ambulance vehicle outside for us to examine what's inside. It looks like a normal Benz van, but it appears, like you said, it's a mini hospital on wheels.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
On the outside, this looks like just an ordinary Benz van, but wow, on the inside, it looks like a small hospital. This is amazing. Wow, wow. Now, would you be kind enough to, educate us about the key components of, what's inside? I'm seeing a lot of things, a lot, but if you can explain it to me, I'm very grateful.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's go in there. Wow. This is it's crazy. Wow. I mean, so many things, I don't even know where to start. It's like a maze of, items and equipments, but also arranged in an orderly manner. So can you just give us a tour of what we are seeing, the key items in the ambulance, please?
Yeah, so I think even an ambulance, what makes an ambulance, we have the driver's compartment and the patient. So this place is the patient compartment. Yeah. Then we have the beacon lights, the siren, the star of life, yes, and the megaphone. Those ones are conventional signs. The working light, that when you see makes an ambulance, that differentiates the ambulance from a hearse. Okay. You understand? Yes. So ours have been painted red, gold, green, signal, Ghana, yes, and the star of life. Okay, yes. So in the patient compartment, we have a very important equipment in the ambulance that can save a lot of lives. You understand? Both. So I want to walk you through. Yes, please. So we have one important equipment known as the automated external defibrillator. Okay. This one, if somebody is in cardiac arrest, we use this equipment on the patient. Like what happened to Patrice Mwamba in the Premiership. Yeah. The paramedics at the stadium used the AED to. Even Ericsson resuscitation. So it's for resuscitation. So if somebody suddenly collapses, the patient is not breathing, doesn't have a pulse. Okay. We use this machine to resuscitate the patient.
So that's the first one.
That's the first one. This is one is a suction unit.
Suction unit.
Yeah. So if somebody you pick a patient, and the patient have a lot of fluids in the mouth, we use the suction we suction the patient. Okay. You understand? Okay. So while the patient is in it, so you have to extract those fluids so that the airway will be very patent. Wow. You understand? Okay. Then we also have this machine. This one is the cardiac monitor. This machine checks your blood pressure, your pulse, your respiration, whilst we en route. So we use it to monitor the patient's vital signs.
Wow.
To know the condition of the patient so that we can administer any treatment to the patient. Either we are giving oxygen to the patient. So we check the oxygen saturation, we check the blood pressure, we check the pulse rate and the heart rate.
Wow.
So this the cardiac monitor.
Okay.
So it's one very important equipment in the ambulance. Likewise, the automated external defibrillator. Okay. Then this one is the infusion pump.
Okay.
So if you have maybe a patient involved in an accident, the patient, we set a line on the patient, then we give infusion. So the infusion pump will regulate the amount of fluids that should be given to the patient.
Okay, so like a drip that we normally get.
We normally get. So we put the drip on the whilst we en route to the hospital for further management.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we also have this machine. We call it a ventilator. You understand? So this ventilator, to when we are going to pick a patient, and we want to do rapid movement. Yeah, because this ventilator have an oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one, you put the ventilator on the patient. Yeah. Then we bring the patient into the ambulance. The moment we get into the ambulance, then we put on the patient on the oxygen that is
in the
ambulance.
Okay.
You understand? So for rapid, and you can even use it when you want to also do cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Okay. There's a component that we can tune into to perform CPR, and there's a portion for pediatrics and adults. So the ventilator too is very, very important. Device in the ambulance to resuscitate a patient.
A lot of
who have maybe a respiratory distress or a patient who need very important.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then this one is a fetal monitor.
A what?
Fetal monitor.
Fetal.
Yeah, we normally pick a lot of maternal cases. From
fetal.
Amasamai, Akawe, Kekele, and those two. So we can use the fetal monitor to check the fetal heart rate of the baby.
So
or the fetus of the pregnant women. You understand? And most cases that we pick, some cases have eclampsia or pregnancy-induced hypertension and all those things. So we carry those cases to Ridge Hospital, 37 Hospital, and Kolibu for further management. Wow. Okay, then we also have certain devices up here. Yeah. We have the cervical collar. If somebody have a spinal injury, we normally use the cervical.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have also traction splint and ankle splint. If somebody have a fracture, we use the splint so that the condition, the injury will not deteriorate. Yeah, that's why. So that we can transport, because most of our roads are very bumpy, speed ramps. So if the person have the splint, we can move the patient well.
Okay. And then I'm seeing a cardiac cabin as well.
Yes. So this one, the cardiac cabin have it contains the parts of the automated external, then the electrodes for the cardiac monitor. Yeah. Then this one too is a manual suction.
Okay.
Manually.
So same thing this one does.
Yeah. So the suction machine. Then we have the oxygen unit.
Wow.
We have 2 cylinders full. Yeah. So when the patient is on the trolley, this is called the trolley.
Yes.
We put the patient, we administer the oxygen. So these are the cylinders. So it will. This one is the flow meter. Yeah, that will check the rate, the amount of oxygen we can administer to depending on the vital signs
that you're getting
of the patient. Then we also have the nebulizer too inside the ambulance that we use to if someone
the nebulizer.
Somebody have an asthma attack.
Okay.
The nebulizer.
Okay.
So if somebody have an asthma attack, we use the salbutamol nebules to give to the patient.
Okay, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, noted. So these are the key things you will normally find in ambulance.
These are, we call them the patient carrying device.
The spine.
The short spine board.
Okay.
And we have the long spine board. That one is down here. We used to carry patient.
And I'm seeing another one hanging by the door.
And then we call it the scoop stretcher. That one too, we used to carry patients we scoop them on the patient. Sometimes some patients are very heavy.
So it appears that ambulances are very well equipped.
Ambulances are, and we have airway adjunct. That one, if somebody we want to do intubation, airway intubation, We have all the equipment. We have the BVM, we call the BAVAG max.
When you say intubation, what do you mean?
Intubation is if a patient have a condition and the patient airway is compromised.
Okay.
But we want to make sure that we get a patent airway so that we can continue treatment.
So do you cut into
So
them?
we don't cut. We use certain agent. We call them the laryngoscope, where we open the person's larynx. Then we insert a tube called the ET tube, endotracheal tube, so that we can connect the oxygen and give oxygen to the patient.
You do all of this without cutting them, or it
No,
goes
this one we
through?
don't. We use the laryngoscope to open the airway, so that
So
we
through
put
the
the
mouth?
ET, through the mouth.
Okay, okay, okay.
We call it so for proper, so that the patient can get a lot of oxygen.
Okay, okay.
So as we are en route, because maybe the SpO2, the oxygen saturation is very low.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that we oxygenate the patient well. So
Okay.
whilst we are en route. So all those, so there
Okay.
are advanced life support equipment we have here. We have the BVM, the laryngeal mask airway, and all of those ones.
So you basically these are the top things you have in
Yes, so the ambulance is well equipped with airway adjunct,
Okay.
life-saving equipment. So
Okay.
it's like a mobile ICU.
Great, awesome. Now the question I want to ask is: these are beautiful, part of the 307 that were inaugurated by the president
Yes.
in 2020 January.
Yes.
There's the issue of maintenance.
Yeah.
What systems have been put in place to ensure that these ambulances stay as long for a very long period of time?
Yeah, I think the transport unit of our service in charge of fleet management have a planned preventive maintenance plan for these particular ambulances.
Okay.
And the ambulances too are under warranty. So those who brought the ambulances are still the people working on it. So there's a partnership between ambulance service and the supplier in terms of maintaining the ambulance. And the ambulances, we have a plan that we service the ambulance. When you travel to a certain kilometer, then
it needs to be
it needs to be serviced. Yeah, so the ambulances are serviced based on the number of kilometers that they run.
Travel.
Yeah,
Wow.
they travel. So we do proper servicing and maintenance. When there's a brake system, we have a workshop.
Yeah.
We are in Kolebu. That's where they do
the
servicing of those ambulances.
Now, for me, with all the investments that have been made into procuring these ambulances, maintaining them and running them, it means that people should not take them lightly. But we find that in our system, you have an issue with prank calls.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, prank calls is one of the issues that we have to take critical look at it, because we are an emergency service.
Yeah.
So when we are inundated with a lot of prank calls, it's going to affect our call volumes. For example, when you look at the statistics from the national security, that is the Bureau of Communication, National Communication. We receive a lot of prank calls, even at because the 112, when you call, is routed through the national security, and the call is connected to the ambulance service. So from 2020, 2021, coming up to even 2022, we have been receiving a lot of prank calls. Sometimes
how many a day?
Oh,
do you know?
In a day, we can even get more than 50 prank calls.
Okay.
But when you take the statistics from January to December, from 2020 to 2021, in a year we can even get about more than 1 million prank calls.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. Where people call and say, "Oh, I want to just test the system." People also call. They want to see whether we will pick the call. People call, I've eaten and I'm tired, come and pick me to the hospital.
So for you, what needs to be done to ensure that?
Yeah, I think what we just want to, we are making a passionate appeal to the general public that it's an emergency line. The 112 is an emergency, so they should always call when they need the ambulance service. And when, especially school children are home in vacation, they normally, it's a toll-free line because they don't charge you, so they normally call. So we are also using your medium to educate the public that they should only call 112 when they need the emergency, because the prank calls will definitely affect our call volumes and all those things.
Now, is there a story of like a prank call that you feel has been disruptive in your line of work that you can remember?
Yeah, we what I can say is we normally receive calls from our dispatch center. There's one patient that like about 10 ambulances in Greater Accra pick that patient.
One person?
One person will
Why?
be there, then they will call that somebody have sudden collapse, maybe in La Paz. We go there, then per our assessment, we can see that the patient doesn't need any medical care, but the patient is hungry.
Wow.
So we have to get food for the person. And
The same person?
Another time we call the person is in Dansuma. You go and pick. So for about 5 consecutive times, you saw that the person just want to prank the system.
Wow.
So I think this is something that we don't want to encourage.
Okay.
So the public should support us as we are also educating them on how to call when they need our services.
All right, all right. This really has been an educational episode of the Auto Showroom. Many thanks for walking us through, what the National Ambulance Service does, the ambulance, as a vehicle itself, the key equipment, and the importance of Ghanaians to stop prank calls, and also to give way when they see the ambulance on the road, because they could be stopping you from saving a life. I do have one question though. Can we at least join you to see what life is like in this, very important vehicle, as you maybe make a pick or deliver someone from one point to a hospital? Is that possible?
Yeah, yes, of course. We'll be much grateful. It will be a very nice experience.
Right,
so that you see how the kind of work EMTs do for Mother Ghana.
All right, so I'm going to take a seat and then, strap myself in, and then hopefully we can pick up someone who's not too hurt.
Yeah.
All right,
of course.
thank you.
Yeah.
So, there you go. He just closed the door. Very exciting episode of the Auto Showroom. I am going to strap myself in because from all indications, we're going to go for a ride of a lifetime with the National Ambulance Service. It's been an exciting episode of the Auto Showroom. Next week, you should simply stay with us as we will be riding around town, hopefully picking someone up and helping save a life. My name is Bobby Osei. Many thanks for watching. This is interesting.